Welcome in, my bucks and mashers. It is, of course, I, NatesLegend, joined today by Mr. DaDewdlyDoo. Scott, how are we today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, man?
No. I said, how are we doing today?
Oh, we're doing well. We've been playing a game today, Borderlands.
Okay.
Borderlands 3.
Cool.
And it has been a lot of fun. I had a blast. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, fantastic. That means that we're doing. If we're doing well, that means that I'm doing well as well. Well. There we go. All right. Everything is well. Well, we are also joined today, but we're going to get into everybody's, kind of what we've been up to. But I want to bring our next guest on real quickly here, just for the sake of getting everybody in. We are joined today. Oh, you know what? We're going to change one thing though. One moment, guys. No, it's okay. We'll do that. It's okay. All right. We're going to join today. We are joined by Crow. I get nicknamed Crow. Are you all right if we use your first name here?
Absolutely, yeah, totally.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
We didn't have a chance, unfortunately, before the episode. You came in right as we were doing the intro, so we didn't have a chance to check audio and everything. So, how are you doing today? Let's check audio. Let's. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty swell. I was, hanging out with you guys a little bit earlier, talking to you, and everything's going great.
So you were kind of a last second addition. We were just gonna do Doodles and myself here, but then we got playing. So we just thrown into a group. So you specifically, you and Doodles are friends here. So how long have you guys been playing games together?
We've been playing games for a couple months now, about 3-4 months. Would you say, Jordan? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, about there. I'd say maybe even closer to like 5 months now, but yeah, it's somewhere around there. Yeah.
So,
yeah, but we've been having a good time, and honestly, one of the most intelligent gamers that I've like had the pleasure of gaming with. He knows his stuff.
That is the first thing I noticed about you. Like that, it really is. What were you gonna say? Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I'm flattered. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I like to project that I do know a thing or two about games. I've been gaming my entire life. I mean, I'm 25 now. First time I ever picked up a game was like 5 years old. So 20-year gamer plus.
Truly.
So. Yeah,
absolutely.
Truly the theme of our generation for sure.
Grow up playing games.
But like learning about like Resident Evil, because it's not a game that I've played myself from Jordan, it has been super interesting to learn more about the series. But welcome to the show, man. I'm glad to have you on.
Yep. So may have a bit of a delay, and that's
may have
all right.
A little bit one.
But it's all right. Let's jump into things. I mean, so I want to kind of give everybody a chance to. What was that? Sorry.
Think about a question.
Oh yeah, that's where we're going. We're gonna jump into things here. So let's Oh my goodness, I'm so disorganized today. It's ridiculous. But here we go.
Riddle me this. We got this.
There we go. All right, I think about a question. I'm so excited for. Here's what it is, guys. I'm so excited for the end, like our main topic today, that like I'm getting so flustered over the beginning part of this because I'm like, let's just talk Borderlands. Let's just talk Borderlands. But we're gonna cover everything. We're gonna do everything. So I think about a question today. If you could have any animal, and I'm gonna broaden it. So when we talked, it was pet. If you could have any pet, but we're gonna broaden it. Any animal from any video game as a pet. What would that animal be? Who would you choose? What video game would it be, and why? We are going to start here with Jordan. Go ahead.
All right, yeah. I was talking to you guys a little bit earlier about this, and the first one that came to mind, like immediately, I just had to say, I was like, Far Cry 4, honey badger. I'd have to have a honey badger because those things are evil, and they are vicious. Oh. Like, if I needed something to back me up in a fight, the honey badger is there. Like, those things are massively, they're so small, and yet they are so massive in the damage they do.
Yeah. You don't mess with honey badgers, man.
What is it? Honey Badger
doesn't give a frick, man, dude. Doesn't give an F-bomb, dude.
We can you can curse on this show.
I know, man, but I'm you know what? Yeah, I should have said that. Yeah. You know what? It's cool. We're moving past it though.
We're moving past it. All right. Dude, what would you choose? What would your animal be?
I'm probably gonna say I think his name's Meat Thief. He's my monkey in Borderlands 3. And he's awesome. He's
love it.
Kind of he's like a gross little dude, but he always revives me, so he always has my back. So I like him.
Oh, they do. Okay, we'll get into the characters and their
we'll do more later. But yeah, that's the thing I really appreciate about him.
All right, I love it. That is an excellent answer. I love it as well. Both excellent answers. Throw mine out there. Mine feels very plain comparatively, but like I want a wolf mount from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Like, oh, of course. I have a wolf dog. Don't get me wrong. I already have one, but I want one I can ride into battle.
Yeah. Right. Just a big like a dire wolf.
Yes, I want a dire wolf. That like dire wolf or like yes. That's my dream animal, my dream pet. And I'm halfway there. Like I said, I have a Malamute husky wolf mutt somewhere in this household. So, I'm halfway there, but yeah. I want more.
Oh, of course.
All right. Great answers, everybody. I appreciate you so much. Let's go ahead and jump into our not so breaking news. All right. I'm still, like I said, I'm still torn. All right, we're gonna throw this bad boy up on the screen here. Let's see if we can even get this. Boom. All right, in the order we want. So our first bit of news today, obviously the big release. We have Call of Duty Vanguard. So far, I've seen mixed reviews. Have you guys had a chance to check this out? Just real quickly here. Either of you had a chance?
No, I haven't played the new Call of Duty yet. I do plan on getting it soon when I can afford it. But games on the PS5 are not cheap. So there we go.
Fair.
I agree.
What about you?
Completely.
Have a chance?
I have gotten the chance to play Vanguard a little bit, and my fiance is actually the one who is into Call of Duty like massively. So I've gotten to watch her play the zombies a little bit, and I've gotten to watch her play the campaign a little bit. And I mean, I'd say it looks very interesting. It's very nice to see Call of Duty going back to World War II, where they started, and bringing it to a new generation. Shoot, if you look at history lessons now, I mean, kids are getting history lessons from video games because of these games. They stay very accurate. So that's something that's really cool about them. And it looks really good. Like the graphics and everything are great.
So tell me, what did you think about the zombies, what you've seen?
It looks intense. My fiance was on round 5, and I'm not kidding. It looked like round 20 on Kino with how many zombies I saw.
Really?
So
yeah, it feels like they keep up in the stakes.
Oh yeah, they know their fan base. They know who plays, and they know they've been playing a while. So they're like, hey, you know what? We're gonna make it harder on you, man. We know you've been in here, but we know you've seen this and done that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with upping the stakes, though, and it makes the game better. Like the whole point is to progress and make it better than the last, right?
Right. So yeah, and we saw that with the difference between Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 versus Back 4 Blood. It's a lot harder. I think, in my opinion, I feel like it's way more difficult. But like, I love it. It's a lot of fun, and I'm definitely excited to keep playing it.
Oh, it's gonna.
Yeah, and you can see where it came from too. Like the roots are still there.
Yeah, definitely enjoy Back 4 Blood.
Well, and to loop back to Call of Duty here, World at War is really my favorite Call of Duty game. Like I have yet to find a campaign that I've vibed with as much as World at War. So, for me going back, World War II times, like I love it. I'm here for it, and I'm hoping to pick it up soon. But again, I'm the same.
On that note, I really enjoyed the Modern Warfare 2 reboot, and I'm really excited to see more. It was a genuine story, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Hey, shout out from the comment section. You want to throw that one up there, Nate?
Yeah, we can throw it up here real quick here.
Modern Warfare 2 is just What's up, Tanner?
All right.
So yeah, we had it was really sincere campaign in Modern Warfare 2, and it was genuinely entertaining and informative, and it was rough too at times. So yeah, it was a good one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's where Call of Duty really one thing about Infinity Ward's style, they do so much for the characterization of their people, like by the end of the game, you so feel for Soap, the character you play as. You are like feeling for him, and it's like, man, like I want to see him win. I have to see him like beat this because man, he's just so good.
Exactly. And he's just genuine and authentic. And then the story when you're in the Middle East with I can't remember his name, but he's helping with the resistance, and it is just it's just a really good story. I liked it. Yeah.
I'm glad to see they're back on their roots. I'm gonna kind of cut us on that one. We gotta keep things rolling so we can get through it all, because there's a few things today. We also have Marvel's Avengers. So a couple bits of news. The big one being we officially have a release date of Spider-Man for Marvel's Avengers. It will be coming out November 30th. So
whoa, okay.
Yeah, big news there.
God.
It's about
finally
time,
I am
right?
so excited. Okay.
All right.
This is the reason I bought the game.
About time.
We'll throw Tanner's quick comment up here as well. It really is a great game. Jordan, I want your opinion on it. Have you had a chance to play Avengers? We covered it on the show, but have you had a chance to play?
Oh, I absolutely love Avengers, and I have to say my favorite one to play as so far. Call me the cliche, but I absolutely love Black Panther. I think that he is just so boss in that game. Before Black Panther came out, the one that I was consistently going to was I really liked how they made Black Widow. She just feels very fluid.
Agree.
She feels.
And let's throw this up there.
She's awesome.
Oh yeah, and we have there you go, another Black Widow vote. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, Tennis's Black Widow as well, and also I ranked Black Widow up first as well. Her range was clutch, and it was just my favorite.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
And like I said, she was so quick and fluid. Like if you really like sort of a button masher, but still in a strategic manner, Black Widow is where you go, because that was like, I mean, it was just so good.
Yeah, shout out to Cliff Barton as well. The second Hawkeye edition. The Kate Bishop one was really fun as well, but I really enjoyed playing as old man Hawkeye for that little bit.
For real, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. I love it. Well, other bits of news from them as well. So they added paid boosters, got a lot of hate, and have decided to remove them. So kind of a interesting development on that, because people were mad about that, and the fact
it is a cash grab.
It is. I agree. I will commend them for listening to their audience, which is because it made it pay to win. Really, it did.
Yeah,
so I commend them for that. But like, I agree, it was a cash grab, and that's not fair to your fan base. Doodles, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it kind of betrays the property and the message of the property itself. It's cold and calculated, and it's pay to play, and that's not what the IP is about. So why would you do it?
Yeah, Did so Jordan, as we lose Doodles, Jordan, for you there, as I complete now, see what happens when something when something happens out of the ordinary. Your brain gets derailed, especially with ADHD.
Oh, absolutely.
Sanity. Yeah. I actually did have a question for you, and I have forgotten. And see, now Doodles is back.
Howdy. Yeah, sorry about Doodles, that. I don't know what happened.
No, you're good. We went through a few moments here of me not remembering what we were saying. So if you would, can you catch us up on where we're at? Because I have absolutely lost my mind.
Okay, so we were talking about Avengers. And then, yeah, I'm back. And then I was saying how I enjoyed playing Cliff Barton, I believe. And then some other stuff happened. What's next?
All right, no, that's good.
Yeah,
We-
I think we were
have-
talking about the cash grab stuff, and I think you guys were
Yeah,
right.
no, okay.
Right
So what I was
about
saying about that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there we
so
are.
it is okay. So the property itself is not. That's not the message of it. It's
Tanner
this
being
is
a
cold.
pro
It's
here,
pay to
guys.
play. Thank you, Tanner. Yes, you helped me very much, my friend.
Anybody else is welcome to throw comments. Go ahead.
But yes, so it just betrays what the property is about. Like honestly, if like I don't know, man. I'm not here to say what Stanley would think, but I don't think he'd enjoy it.
No, I agree. Jordan,
Yeah.
did you actually get a booster at all? Did you try that out? Did you anything along those lines with them, or did you stay away? Have you even played since they did it? It was less than a month.
I played it and I noticed it there, but I did not really partake in it because I would never. I don't want to sit here and badmouth any company for any reason. Like I think all of them work very hard and they do their very best, and but there is one company that I have always tried my best to stay away from, and I will say that is EA because of paid boosters and pay to play and all that kind of stuff. And when Square Enix went and did that with the Avengers, it just really it's like you said, and like I saw that Tanner said, it betrayed the style. It betrayed the style of game that you have. And I think Doodles is completely right. Like Scott, I think you're totally right. Stan Lee would never have agreed with that, because if you've ever listened to Stan Lee talk, he always says, like, Marvel has always been and always will be a place where every one of us can escape to and to like come together. And like everyone is a superhero in their own right. We all have our own villains and demons to fight. And I think that a cash grab like that really just kind of betrayed that. Like it didn't feel superhero-y. It felt World of Warcraft-y, for lack of a better term.
It's like what are the bad guys in Ready Player One? It's kind of like that, where they're just like, they're not really about the game. They just want to be good at the game. They just want to have all the things.
Yeah, dude, Ready Player One was so good. We should.
I love that movie.
We should do a video game movie review.
We could, yeah, that would be a fun thing. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk later. Anyway, all right. Ooh, as I throw things. All right, so continue. We are going to continue on. Sorry, just got keep things rolling here. So we also have. I didn't know this game was in development. If I'm honest with you, it's kind of been. I don't know. Hush, hush. They have things on it, but Marvel's Midnight Suns is delayed. Which and that one's not even going to show up. We'll keep it on Marvel. That's unfortunate.
Yes, and a lot of people actually, I have noticed a lot of people are actually not aware that Marvel Midnight Suns has projected itself as a I can't remember what the style of game. They have a specific genre of game that they consider it as. But did you ever play one of those games like the one I can think of is Lord of the Rings: The Third Age? Or
it's kind of like Ultimate
original Final
Alliance. Are you
Fantasy
talking
VII?
about Ultimate Alliance?
No, I've read a thing that said it was more of like you'll get the list like in Pokemon, attack, item, defend, or something like
strategy.
that.
Is it
anybody
turn-based?
out here? If it helps anybody out, this game is being developed by Firaxis Games, which is the company that made XCOM.
Right.
So
yeah.
if you want
So
a game
like
to
an
compare
XCOM
it to,
style.
that's going to be your best option. Like I was watching,
Yeah.
I watched the footage, and it's very similar to that.
Got you.
So there you go. Anyway, just what it looks. I didn't know again, but as to your point there, Jordan, I didn't know it was in development, and it looks good. Like it's okay.
does.
I'm okay if you want to delay a game if to bring us the best product. Nothing wrong with that. So anyway, all right. Continuing on, we do want to talk just a few moments. You all probably saw it flash up on the screen. I don't know what I'm doing here, if I'm honest with you. But we do have as well some news coming from Blizzard, and it has been interesting. So the news that we're talking about today specifically is Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 have been delayed as well.
Wow.
Now,
okay.
I want, before I give my feelings on this, because I have feelings on this, this is I'll give my feelings on this in a moment. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. So with these two games being delayed, especially with the hype surrounding them, what are your guys' thoughts on these particular delays?
Well, so okay. I was excited for Diablo to come out, and it's just like I'm still gonna play it when it comes out. It's fine, but I mean, it's been enough time. You had time to release a sequel, and we want it, so like you should release a sequel. But it's cool. I'm excited for it either way. I'm not stoked to wait longer for it because it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I already heard about it and it just bummed me out. Overwatch 2 being delayed. Yeah, that sucks too, I guess. But I mean, I don't think I was going to be playing it for a while.
No, I was not going to be touching that game anyway. Jordan, anything from you? Any thoughts on those delays?
You know what? I did play Overwatch, and I did like Overwatch at first, but then when there was nothing really new to it, I was like, okay, well, you know what? I think I've done everything there is to do. And I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys. Like Diablo for me was where it was at. Like Diablo 3 and Diablo 4. I mean, Diablo 3 I have played numerous times, and I was really pumped to see the Diablo 4 thing. But then, yeah, when Blizzard got into hot water, it was like, here we go.
Yeah, they definitely have some stuff they got to work out on their end, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, and we actually have more news surrounding them in that regard as well. We'll get into the kind of the scandal side as well, but I mean the delays themselves, which plays into all of this. I'll give you guys my opinion real quickly here because I'm very opinionated on this one.
Yeah.
So, Diablo 4, in my mind, it's coming from a place, and I feel like one of the only reasons they're developing or have thought about developing this game and are wanting to make it a great game is because of the backlash surrounding Diablo Immortal, the game on the phone, your mobile game. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it was already in the works. There was something, but that was kind of the first sign in the Diablo series that this was all just kind of a makeup for me. Then you look at Overwatch. Overwatch 2 was released I don't want to give a month. Sorry. It was released at BlizzCon 2019. That is when they announced it, right?
Yeah.
So you're sitting here, you have 2 years of, hey, we have this game. But in all reality, that release, that announcement was nothing more than a PR stunt, because that's back when this whole scandal all began. And it was nothing more than a PR stunt to try to distract us from other things that were going on. And so they announced this, and they are nowhere near ready to be where it needs to be to even announce the game, much less try to release it in the window that they wanted to. And so for me, this game, just simply because they both feel like nothing more than PR cop-out stunts, to me, I don't feel bad bashing on these two particular games as, like, not the developers, not developers, of course, try.
Yeah.
But the company as a whole, I feel like
why they're doing these things.
Yeah, I feel it's an entire cop out. I have no desire to play Overwatch 2 at all. I think the rest of the fan base has no desire to play Overwatch 2 at all. I think it's a dead game before it begins. That's
my opinion on it is, if you want to play it, you're going to play it, and nothing that we say or whatever our opinions on anything is going to change that. And honestly, I don't know. I was kind of over it. I was done when they took away Reaper's soul orbs, and that was like early.
That was really your like, that was your line. That was your line in the sand, wasn't it? Like they
ruined him. It was bull, dude. He was awesome. You could go through. I would wreck groups, man. I would go through groups in Overwatch because of soul orbs. But no, then they did it to the percentage of your projectiles on the person you're hitting. That's fine if I'm fighting Roadhog and Winston every time. Mm-hmm. I'm not, though, and I'm not.
You're not a tank hunter at that point. Like, you're not a tank buster. No. Jordan, it sounded like you had something to say. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you out there. What were your thoughts?
Oh no, I was just saying that. I was just gonna say it just seems ironic to me too, because if you listen to the whole story of Overwatch, it's like about how it was like a corporation takeover kind of thing, and the Omnitrix and everything like that was part of the problem. And again, you're playing as superheroes, and they announced this game, like you said, during when the scandal started, and I'm just like, well, that's a little ironic because you're playing as the good guys, right? And yeah.
Oh my. Yeah, that's a valid point. I never thought about that.
We'll just have to see what happens with everything over on their end, and we'll just see how it plays out.
All right, and then last thing here, just concerning all of that. So co-leader Jen O'Neill announced that she is also leaving Blizzard. So that's another of the high executives there. She's announced she's leaving. The only thing I have to say, because I've tried to keep track of all of everything that's happening, this whole thing's a shit show. I give up. I have not purchased a Blizzard game or even put money toward, as far as I can recall here. I have tried my best. I don't think I've given money to Blizzard in God knows how long. Yeah. Like, I don't think I will again, at least until they do a whole revamp. That's my personal opinion. I'm done.
And I totally agree.
So anyway, all right. Let's see. And this great segue moment, we could just jump in and be like, yo, let's do our main topic and throw a nice video across the screen. I still don't know how to. I'm like writer's block on our intro to our main topic. Total writer's block on it. I cannot come up with something. I don't know what I'm going to do. So our main topic today is going to be Borderlands 3. Let's break this down just a little bit. Okay, so Borderlands 3 is developed by Gearbox Games, published by 2K Games. That's a lot of games in one sentence. Oh my goodness. It was released September 13th, 2019. I did not realize it had been that long. Like, woo! It's been released, so it also has a release for the PS5 and Xbox Series X of November 2020. So it is available on the next-gen consoles as well. And, of course, it does follow its predecessors in the loot-and-shoot type style. Yeah, like that's the whole. It makes fun of itself.
It's the Deadpool of loot. I love it. We overdo the loot because it's the best thing to ever happen to video games. It's my favorite.
So, all right, let me give you. It's so much fun. Let's see. So, I'm gonna try to break this story down. Now, of course, we try to do it without any spoilers, right? So. Right. Correct me anywhere that I'm wrong, because Jordan is going to know. Jordan is our Borderlands 3 expert today. Correct me anywhere I'm wrong, but I'm just going to give you guys a brief synopsis of the first little bit of the game, and we'll kind of go from there. So, game does take place. It's about 7 years after Borderlands 2. You have learned that there are vaults all over the galaxy, not just on Pandora. So you new Raider, or excuse me, you go to join the Crimson Raider. You're a new Vault Hunter going to join the Crimson Raiders. You meet up with Lilith, who has you recovering a map from that was lost to the Children of the Vault, and they kind of become your main antagonists there. They are led by Troy and Tyrene Calypso, and they are honestly the best way to describe them. They are YouTube star villains. So they are Jake and Logan.
May I interject? I feel like it should be Tyrene and Troy, because Troy is not. Troy sucks.
I just got it from the wiki.
No, you're okay. I'm just saying Troy sucks, and that's how I feel. I think Tyrene is definitely the champ, and I don't like her either very much.
Yeah.
She's
I don't
tough.
like that being on my record. We're gonna go ahead and Tyrene and Troy. Boom. Y'all, I say I pulled it from the wiki because if I don't have like references, I cannot do names, y'all. I cannot do names.
Oh, you're good, man. I just felt like the order. I got you.
You're right. It's now updated in my notes as well, so it will forever be embedded as Tyrene and Troy, because you are 100% right. But yeah, they're just a cult that made up of bandits looking for their own vaults and ultimately trying to get to the Great Vault. Yeah. So you find the map. I'll spoil that part. But among other, I'm going to say sort of spoiler things, happen. That's the term we're using. Just sort of spoiler things happen. And
Okay.
nonetheless, you end up on other planets. So you end up going, so ultimately there's a few planets that you go to. So, and this is where I'll kind of end our synopsis, because it's kind of fun to just, it is more open, it's more broad, and so I want to leave the synopsis more broad for that reason, right? So you end up, you go to Promethea, you have Athenas, you have Eden 6.
Yep.
Are there any that I'm missing of those? Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
I don't think so. You start out on Petendora, and then from there you will go to the one where Atlas is, and for some reason that name
That's
is
Promethea.
totally escaping me. Yes,
That one is
Promethea. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, and then from there you go to Athenas, and then you'll go to Eden
Athenas.
6, and there is one other planet you go to, but due to spoilers and stuff like that,
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Mention that one, but
No, you're good. We'll leave it right there. Those are the important ones, at least concerning the brief synopsis. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
So I want to hear your thoughts, especially when it comes to the story itself. If we're breaking down the story in comparison to the Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, all of the DLCs and the add-ons and everything, they have some great stories. How do you feel this story compares to that of say Borderlands, the rest of them? Jordan, I want to hear your thoughts first. Go ahead.
okay, so yeah, I will just start off by saying my favorite Borderlands DLC and everything, it will always be Borderlands 2. It was where it was golden for me. Handsome Jack is probably just my favorite villain, in any game ever. He is just absolutely amazing with how charismatic he is, and just all the little witty comebacks, all the comments, and then just the fights that he puts you into is I feel like a badass,
He was honestly the most ridiculously psychotic villain that I can that comes to recollection. It was so not because the things he did were that vile, but his lack of remorse for it. His just pathologically insane. What is the term I am looking for? Sociopath. The sociopath in him is just so well done, and I love it. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, and compare that. He tries to put on. With that one, it's the villain itself. Comparing it to Tyrene and Troy, Handsome Jack all the way. I would have to say Handsome Jack. And part of the reason is because anyone who's played the Borderlands series would know, that Handsome Jack was kind of a hero at first. He was kind of out to civilize the Borderlands in a sense, but not through the way that came about in 2. Which of course, I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't played the pre-sequel, but yeah, there was a lot more to Jack than there is Tyrene and Troy. Tyrene and Troy, they're just kind of I don't know. They think they're
Twitch
entitled,
tyrants.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They think they're entitled.
Like I said, Jake and Logan Paul.
Yep, there we are.
I'm taking shots.
Exactly.
It's fine. I'm sorry. Shouldn't be taking shots at people that could absolutely kick my ass. But hey, it's cool.
Go
ahead. Keep going.
Hey,
Keep going.
Okay. So yeah.
All right. So, dude, what are your thoughts about Borderlands 3 in comparison?
Well, I enjoy the gameplay. The sliding is cool. And the Beast Master Fleck, my favorite. I love him. And our monkey is cool. Meat Thief. Claptrap is always fun. I love Claptrap. Although it's great. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for the movie to see what happens.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot that we can cover there. All right. Yeah. So let's kind of loop it back. So let's talk characters for a few moments here. Because we talked about some of the villains, and we can kind of break them down a little bit as well. But let's talk about the playable characters, because there's a few of them. The first that we're looking at are Mana the Siren. So we do get you do get a siren. She summons ethereal fists, We have Mose the Gunner, who he rides a mecha Iron Bear. We have Zane the Operative. That's who I played as. Who I like playing.
Really quick, Moses female.
Moses female. Oh, I apologize. I haven't played as them. I'm sorry. Moses female. She rides. See, I didn't even. Here's the thing.
I like to think of Mose as Letty from Fast and the Furious.
You want?
I'm
you
just
guys
putting that out there.
I love it. Okay, here's the set. I'm space brain today. I will apologize on that front.
No worries.
But I didn't actually even put a. I intentionally do this too. Is the sad part. I didn't put any pronouns at all. Actually,
Yeah.
I try to use they as much as possible, and I feel like I fail at that. But I try to use they as
Everybody
much.
slips, man. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not. I'm just in general. I'm just on a tangent at this point, man.
But
I don't know.
Mose is basically diva for Borderlands.
Diva for
and
Borderlands.
I enjoyed playing as her, and her guns you can pick between like mini guns, you can have rail guns, and then I can't remember what the other one was. I think they were grenade launchers.
Flamethrower.
Flamethrower, yeah,
And grenade launchers.
and grenade launchers. She was a lot of fun, and her ability is really cool.
Nice. And then of course you have your Beastmaster as well. So
Yes.
let's do this. I want to hear because Jordan, you're gonna of course our expert in all things Borderlands today. I want to hear your thoughts, kind of break down each character if you would, their play style, kind of the things that they can do. We'll start with some of the ones that we don't know. So Armana first, if we can. Can you break them down for us?
So Amara, she is a siren. She is one of the only 6 sirens that can be in the universe at any given time. You actually hear that from Jack at one point in the second game. So if you count all 6 sirens without spoilers, so I won't tell you who all of them are, but I'll tell you 3 of them are right in your face. It's Maya, Lilith, and Amara. So she is definitely a very she's one of the healer type characters. You know, she can be a healer or you can be very aggressive with her. But at the same time, you can also have sort of an intermix between the two because she has sort of the same ability as Maya. You can level into a skill tree to have a fist that comes out of the ground, like you said, like an ethereal fist, and it'll lock an enemy in place. So sort of, you know, like Maya's phase lock from Borderlands 2. But she can be very quick and very, very fluid, or you can have her just be a total tank, and it is just awesome either way. She was a great addition to the Sirens.
Awesome.
But moving on from Amara, Flack, like Doodles is playing as Flack, and I mean, he is one of the best.
Oh yeah, I love Flash.
Yeah,
he's super fun.
I won't sit here and take up all of your time, but
no, keep going. I want to hear.
Like, I will tell you, I played as Flack as well. I do have a Flack character, and my favorite is the Rack. You know, like Scott, you like the monkey, you know, the Thrasher. I really, really like the Rack. You know, just being able to send him down like a freaking eagle and just
do love that ability.
Swoop down and claw them. I'm just like, man, that is so awesome. And he can like go and,
cool.
you know,
I think I'm gonna
the animals, the Beastmaster, he can have them bring stuff to him. Like, you know, they will pick up a gun that dropped and they'll bring it to him and be like, here, you know, this is yours now. And so that's really cool. It's almost like having a partner the whole time, you know, even if you're not playing multiplayer, you have a partner the whole time.
So it does pick up weapons and whatnot for you then? Is that, or cash, or what all does it pick up?
So if he goes near cash, they'll pick it up for you. If he goes near iridium, he'll pick it up for you. If he goes near guns, he'll pick it up for you. They pick up all sorts of stuff for you. And it's just, you know, you get the skill tree leveled up enough and they start doing some massive damage, and legendary guns will drop and they'll go for the most rare of the guns and they will bring them to you. Like if there's an orange gun or a purple gun and they're sitting right next to each other, your partner is more likely to bring you the orange gun because it sees they made it so that it sees the rarity of the guns and brings them to you. It's really cool. They
That's
did
awesome.
a really good job on Flack.
Wow.
And a lot of people in the beginning were saying that he was really nerfed, like he was just so strong, and it almost felt like it took away from the fun because of how strong he was. But then, a few updates later, and they really mellowed that out. But I mean, the next one is Mose, and Mose is just like you said. I mean, pretty much exactly.
Let me
like
stop
you
for
said.
a moment here. Sorry, I want to get. I'm gonna stop you for a moment. Sorry, I want to get Doodle's thoughts on Flack as well. So, how do you have it laid out? What mode do you play with Flack there?
So I was curious about the Thrasher mode, so I wanted to try the green branch. So right now I am doing, it's kind of a stealth build where your ability makes you invisible, but the first 3 rounds that you fire uncloak you, but they all are guaranteed crits. So they are guaranteed critical hits, and you can, they're devastating, and it's almost like the Hunter's golden gun, I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, so I enjoy that ability, but going back to what Jordan said with the rack, it is really cool to just be able to send these like pterodactyls at people.
That's fair. That's fair.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I love it. Just wanted to make sure.
The dog,
dog. Yeah.
Skag.
The skag.
Yes.
Sorry. The skag ability where you cause an explosion wherever you're looking at. That's really cool. I like that one as well.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, the skag is pretty great too.
Yeah. And then he becomes beefed up, becomes like a big wolf dog. You'd love it, Nate. It's right up your alley.
Oh yeah. He, like, when you level him up, you can basically evolve the skag. It's really cool. Like, you make him into like an alpha skag, and
it's like Pokemon,
big armored looking thing. It's freaking awesome.
He gets his own Pokemon. I love it. All right.
Evolve, dude. It's
on my list of animals. If I'm honest with you, like pets you could have. Like, who wouldn't want to? Like
skag would be
acid
awesome.
Flinging protection wandering around. Skag was on my list, so I may have to give that one a go. All right, keep going on. Mose. Jordan, what do you got on Mose for us?
Well, I will tell you, Mose is exactly like Scott said. She is very diva from Overwatch, like extremely. You call it in, it just kind of teleports in. And then with Mose, it's really cool because you can have like 2 separate skill trees, really, because her skill trees come down to what type of guns are on her mech. So, like on one side, you can have a minigun, but then you can have a grenade launcher or a flamethrower or something like that on the other side. And
she's great for crowd control.
To have, oh yeah, crowd control. Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. The crowd control on her is just fantastic.
Her armor devastates a room, man. It's cool.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to.
Yeah, and I don't know if any of us have actually played as Mose yet. I think that's the one character that I haven't gotten very far with.
When I first played the game, I did a run as Mose. I don't know if I beat it or not, but I got pretty far with Mose, and I enjoyed playing as her. She was great.
Dope.
Yeah, Mose.
Yeah, I was dominating rooms. She's such a good tank.
We have enough of us between guests we've had on previously. We have Jeremy and Jay that both play Borderlands. We have us all 3 that all play. We could likely get a good party going and get every player that's out there into a party. And have all sorts of different types. Just everybody plays a different role. Full art.
It would be so fun. I'm here for it.
Be fun.
That would be awesome.
Because they do have more. So those are just kind of the big ones. My understanding, and I haven't purchased. Okay, so you got to understand the DLCs. There's a few of them, and they cost more money than the game itself. They're like $80 for all of the season passes. So I don't have any of the additional characters or additional anything for this game because it is a lot of money.
Did we cover Zane?
Zane, that is the other one. Oh my goodness, that's the one I play as, and I totally forgot Zane. How do I forget Zane? Zane is fun. Zane is fun. I'll go over Zane real quickly here. So, okay. Yeah. Zane has a few. So Zane's big thing is he has a few different gadgets that he can ultimately use. He has a almost energy sword for his melee weapon, which is really cool. It's kind of fun to pull out. But I primarily use the shield. He drops the shield similar to Orisa is the best way I can kind of describe it. Drops on the ground. You are able to pick it up and carry it, so it actually covers the front of you, which is super useful when you're playing by yourself. Super useful. Some other gadgets. He has a sentry that he can launch out, and it will follow along, go kill some bad guys. I found that I don't think it's very powerful personally. I haven't found much use out of it. It just kind of zips off, and I feel like I'm still fighting bad guys and not doing it. So personally, I don't like that one as much. And then the last one is a clone. So fun fact, Zane and Zero actually trained at the same academy or whatever. They have they train together. So awesome. The clone ability that Zero had, Zane also has. So there's kind of your three big ones there. Did I miss anything, Jordan?
Not necessarily. You didn't miss anything. I love that you added the little thing about Zero and him trading at the same academy. That's so great. And you know, the best thing about Zane is he is actually, so in the first game you fight another Flint, and then in the second game, right in the beginning, you fight Baron Flint, and they are actually his brothers. So what Zane is never really made aware of is that Lilith is actually one of the people who killed one of his brothers, and the other Vault Hunters are as well, which is, you know, interesting to say the least. But there's also other skills for them as well. With like you had said, you know, not everybody can afford the DLCs right now, but with the DLCs came a fourth skill tree for all of the characters, and his was like a predator mounted cannon, you know. For Moe's it was another gun style. For Flack, I think it was another creature, and then with Amara, I think it was like energy orbs or something like that. But yeah, that was part of the DLC. But no, I think you covered everything. I think you got it all. So yeah, pretty spot on.
I'm gonna have to check out this DLC though.
So I don't know if it's specifically for Zane or if it was for a generalized statement, but you mentioned as well that the multiple having two skill trees, basically two abilities. How does that work?
You know, that one is what I do with my Zane. My Zane character, when you're running at full speed, your damage goes up, and then every time that you kill an enemy, your speed goes up. So the faster you run, the more damage you do. So the more enemies I kill, the faster I'll run, the more damage I will start to do. And I, instead of having a grenade, like typically if I'm on PS4, I'd hit R1, he'd throw out a grenade. For my Zane, instead of doing that, I have chose to equip a second skill tree. So whereas I have my normal skill tree where I actually did do the drone, and I found that when the drone is completely maxed out, it starts to become really handy. I do agree with you though. In the beginning, it feels kind of like lacking. It feels like it's not doing very much. So, you know, once you get it to the point, you know, once you get to the point where it's really, really up there and like you've got a lot of the skills done, then it starts to feel like, okay, this is actually starting to do something. But the second skill tree that I decided to do is actually the one from the DLC. So I have like the Predator-esque mounted cannon, and that is just so helpful when you're fighting. Like there are these characters, these enemies, the Anointed, that are just, they can be such a pain. And, you know, when I'm fighting one of those things and just whipping out that freaking cannon on them, oh man, it helps so much because it just staggers them for a second and gives me a second to breathe, you know, get away from them if I have to. So yeah, running the two skill trees, it does not come without its challenges, and it can be very difficult, especially if you have a full party, because like in Borderlands, in every one of them, the more actual players you have in your party, the more enemies will spawn in. So it definitely has its challenges, but it is a hell of a lot of fun if you can keep moving and keep the bullets flying, you know?
Yeah. And the one thing I would say is, like, if any game that gives me an opportunity to have passive things fighting on my side, I love that. I'm excited for that. That's one of my favorite things.
Oh, absolutely.
I love to have firepower that I'm not in control of, just taking care of things for me. Dude,
See-
it's awesome.
I see, and the more you guys mention Flack, the more I'm like, oh my, like I want that one because I like playing alone. Like if I'm honest with you, groups like, and that's why it's hard to get a stream of all of us together because like I groups anyway. So I play alone. So knowing that Flack can actually like that your pet helps you and can revive you. Do you know how often that would save my bacon? Like, oh my goodness, really cool. It's rough. It's rough at times, but
Meat Thief has helped me out many a time.
Oh, good. Oh, good. All right, keep moving on here just a little bit. So we have the DLCs and the add-ons that we kind of talked about that adds more. We do have returning previously playable characters in, as mentioned, Lilith and Maya. Zero. We also have Mordecai that makes an appearance at one point. So we do have lots of returning guests or returning characters. We also have returning NPCs such as Marcus. You got Moxie, Ellie, Tina, which is Tiny Tina, but no longer tiny, no longer going by Tiny anyway. And then you have Ava and Reese, some of the kind of new characters that are that you meet along the way. All sorts of fun stuff going on there. Anything that stands out about the returning characters? Anyone specific that you want to bring up? Maybe missed or
I thought it was funny to see. It was fun to see Brick come back, and his whole character is pretty hilarious. So
which will anyway, that character gets a little bit funnier when we get to the movie section of this. This is gonna be fun. It gets a little bit because of our conversation earlier. Jordan, what about you? Any thoughts there? Any other characters you'd like to add in? Non-playable characters that we missed?
Well, I will bring up that I know she's a fan favorite, and again, call it a cliche if you want, but I have to say one of my favorites from 2 was Tiny Tina. Absolutely. Yeah. And in this one, you were correct. She is not going by Tiny Tina anymore. And, I don't know. Maybe I should say spoiler warning, because once you hear the name, you'll know. Yeah. You'll be like, oh, dude.
With me, guys. Oh, do we not have? Oh, I didn't import it over. Hang tight with me, guys. Bear with me just a few moments. Oh, know exactly. Doodles. Yeah. We're going to scroll that across the bottom. We're going to add that, and we're going to kick it on. All right, go ahead. We have a spoiler warning up, so anybody that's watching can tune out for a few moments here. Say the name. Go ahead, Jordan. Say the name.
All right. So this game, she is actually going as Crunk Bunny. So you'll hear Crunk Bunny, and you'll be like, oh, dude, yes, okay, awesome. So you were right. She is not going as Tiny Tina anymore, but she is definitely one that I was very curious. I was like, tell me she's gonna make a comeback. I really want her to come back. And when they finally said her name, anybody who had played Borderlands 2, even, they would probably hear that name even without the spoiler, and they'd be like, oh yeah, Bunny, okay, gotcha. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my god, yes, Tiny Tina, we're back. Yes. And then you run into Brick, and you run into, Maya. Maya was the siren. I played as her first when I played Borderlands 2, and absolutely loved her.
Are we beyond spoilers? I'm gonna stop for a moment. Sorry. Are we beyond spoilers? Can we remove our banner here?
Spoilers. You're good.
All right, we're beyond spoilers. All right, keep going.
Yeah.
Maya, go ahead, Maya.
Yeah, I've always liked the sirens. So like Maya, Lilith. They were very fun. I love Tannis for some reason.
Tannis is great.
Dr.
I love
Tannis is just amazing. I love her. The quirky little comments that she makes, they're just so fantastic.
You may steal anything not nailed down outside.
Yes. And
that's right in the beginning, I love that.
Yeah, it's so good. Also, did we mention Claptrap? Because it would feel like not good if we did not mention Claptrap.
How do you not mention Claptrap? Claptrap is back.
Of course.
I love Claptrap.
CL4PCP, but you can call him by his locally designated name, or what his friends called him if they were all still alive. Claptrap.
Nailed it. Exactly.
Yes,
so fun.
Claptrap is just still so quirky. they've added, in my opinion, they've added a little more of an intelligence to Claptrap this time around. Before it was just funny comments, but now it feels like it's directed, right?
He's menacing.
Yeah, more menacing, less annoying, right?
He's a mischievous little
See what I'm
robot.
saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Oh, absolutely. You are totally right. Yeah, completely.
Yep.
Like, especially when you're taking over the because there's some challenges where you have to like take over the radio waves, right? And when you're doing that, like Claptrap's the one that actually takes over, and he's broadcasting, and it is if you just sit there and listen for a little bit, it doesn't stop. It will keep playing. Once you take it over, it's so good. It's so good. I love it.
He's great.
Anyway, yeah, no, you're right. I do want to point out, speaking of which, the voice acting in this is insane. Have you actually seen the cast for I haven't looked it up, but I can tell you, like, Chris Parnell is in it. He's the voice of Reese. I can tell you that without having to look them up. Let's see. Who else do we have? What are the other names? Can you?
Well, I know Ice-T is in it, which was just a complete shocker. Like, Ice-T, of all people, he was in Borderlands 3, and it's just like, what? Like, okay.
Notable
and he comes
names.
at the most random of times.
Yeah, notable names include Ice-T, Chris Hardwick, and that's all the names I recognize.
We have Penn and Teller. We have let's see, where else? Where's the whole list here? Is that really not Chris Parnell? Do you really sound that close to Chris Parnell? No, it's Ray Chase. Oh my goodness. I learned something today. We actually have someone that sounds like Chris Parnell.
But Chris Hardwick's in it. I didn't know that.
I could have sworn that was Chris Parnell also. I thought the same thing.
Well, either way, fun voices. Really good work.
So confused by this. Great work. The voice acting really is great. It's fun. It's hilarious.
I love Ice-T in it. He's my favorite, dude. Ice-T in it is so good.
Yeah.
Yep. We got to play that one.
Ice-T was fantastic.
Yep.
All right. All right, let's move on. We got to talk. We got more to talk about here. This is. I'll let you guys know. I 100% planned on this being a slightly longer episode. We're going to talk about the weapons real quickly here because I've mentioned it before. So we're going to talk about the new like abilities of the weapons, but because of the really randomness of the guns, and I mentioned it before, it follows its predecessors with the procedurally generated weapons. So it does have very much an RNG to it, and I'm gonna let Jordan explain for a moment exactly what, because you know well more about what all it pulls from and what all it does. So what does the procedurally generated weapons actually do?
So the procedurally generated thing, it actually it will pull from like enemies, and it will pull from the different elemental bases, and it'll pull from the different styles of weapon that it has. So it will like in the game, typically you have incendiary, you have shock, you have in this one you have radiation, you have the corrosive still. And one that is not there anymore actually is the slag, but it would go hand in hand with that. And I believe earlier I was actually telling you about the first Borderlands game. Like for an example, there was a gun that I remember that I just so loved, and it was Bonehead's SMG, and it actually pulled a name from the dialogue that he spouts off while you're fighting him. And it was just absolutely awesome. It was my favorite SMG in the whole game. But if you notice, like the names of the guns, they are procedurally generated as well. And they are just pulled from dialogue that the enemies will spout off. And the elements will just randomly attach themselves. And, you know, for anyone going in trying to say like, oh, well, if I beat, you know, an anointed, I'll get like a radiation gun. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. It'll literally throw a code together and be like, nope, here's your gun. And you're like, oh, crap. Okay.
But
however, I mean, there are guns.
I will point out there are guns that are only available with certain by taking out certain people. Right. So it's.
Yes.
There are some
good example
that
is my favorite TK's wave where you're firing sound waves. I love that. That was fun.
Yes. Like that is what I was about to get to as well. Yes, there are weapons that like only a boss will drop, or only the main enemy of a side quest will drop, or only a certain creature in the wild will drop. Like I know of one off the top of my head that I was telling you guys earlier about an Easter egg in the game that's actually the Brady Bunch, where you fight a family of like racks that are it's supposed to be like the Brady Bunch thing, but they will drop a specific gun that is only one they will drop. So yeah, there are guns like that, but going through the world or worlds in this case, I should say, and just fighting random enemies, you'll never get the same gun from the same enemy. It'll drop random, randomly assorted, different elemental type things, whether it's a shotgun, assault rifle, SMG, any of them. It's really awesome, and I think that's one of their best selling points is just the fact that there's so many different guns that you can get. Like no two players will have the exact same gun unless they got it from the exact same boss or something like that.
Got you.
It's really so okay. So speaking of which, so people getting guns, when you play in a group, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the original Borderlands style where it's loot is dropped, whoever grabs it, or do you prefer a more individualized experience? Everybody gets their own. How do you guys feel in that regard?
My opinion, I think I like the everyone gets their own loot thing. It just feels less complicated. I'll just grab whatever I want to grab, and I don't have to worry about delegating what we're getting. Or just like figure it out.
I think I'm the same.
Yeah, I'm down to do it the other way as well. I don't mind sharing, but at the same time, it's just easier to not deal with it.
That's fair.
Right,
That's fair.
Less arguments amongst vault hunters.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
Especially when everybody just wants to have a good time, right? Like we're not here to riggedy wreck each other. Like it's not quite Destiny, right? It's it's definitely a cooperative thing, and everybody just the goal is to get as much as you can. So why limit yourself? Right.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. One other that you didn't the elemental that we didn't talk about was the lightning as well. We didn't bring that one up. We do still have the lightning. So
yeah.
What would you guys say? What is your favorite type of ammo? Right. What is your favorite type of element? Dude, I'll start with you.
Duracell him, bro. I hit him with that corrosive.
Hit him with the corrosive?
Yeah, I hit him with Duracells. It's
all
crazy.
Right,
and it melts their armor, and then their health degenerates. It's like, it's OP. It's so good.
Gotta love it. Jordan, what about you?
I personally, I have to say, I really, really love the shock. Like just taking that shield down super fast. It really is so nice, especially for some of like the anointed, like I was saying, that have some shields that are just outrageous. The shock really comes in handy, and I have to say that's probably my favorite.
Oh yeah,
that's fair. That's
really
fair.
Quick. I wanted to talk about, so on that note, on the corrosive damage, right now I'm using this corrosive SMG that when I reload, just to talk about how cool the weapons can be in this game with just their unique like abilities. When I reload my SMG, I'll throw it and it'll explode, turn into rockets tracing rockets that track down the enemy. And it's super cool. But it's also dangerous. If I reload against a wall, it'll knock me out. So
splash damage is crazy.
Super useful though.
It is. My personal favorite is the radioactive. I had one gun. I don't know. I didn't pay enough attention to it to know if it's just the one gun I had or not. But I had one gun that it would, when an enemy would die after getting shot by this gun, it would basically explode into a cloud, and then anybody that was around it would also get like turn radioactive. So it just became this chain effect of like radioactivity in like big areas. I kept that gun.
That's awesome.
For so long. I think I still have it in my inventory. So
radioactive, use that too.
Right? It's so
it sounds rad. I like radioactive too. I have a shotgun that's like it's like that I was using. It's like a 17 round. It's almost like a assault rifle style shotgun, but it burns through ammo super quick. But it has radioactive and cryogenic damage on it, and it's way useful.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. It's great, especially being able to switch between 2 different types. Like, especially if you're, dealing with some people that have shield and you need to get light, get them electrocuted, and other people that are just flesh. So, you got to burn them. Just being able to switch back and forth between the 2, especially with some of the bosses, some of the, like, not even bosses, but the big badasses that they have in this game are rough, especially because you have some. They'll send 3 of them in. 2 of them are resistant to fire. 1 of them is resistant to lightning. So you have to find a gun that's able to do corrosive and it's insane.
Oh yeah.
Well,
they have.
And it's like you said, in this one, they know who their audience is. Like I was saying about Call of Duty, it's like they know their audience and they know they've been playing for a while. So it's like when they send in a couple of badasses at you in this one. Oh, they're badass. Like, there's no question. They are badass.
They're awesome.
Man, it's insane. One thing I do want to point out, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, and I don't know if maybe I'm crazy and overthinking it, but one point about the backpack that I noticed is there's different slots now. So you can fill up your entire weapon slot, but not fill up your slots for the shields. Really? Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I went through and picked up a bunch of weapons. Couldn't pick up any more weapons, but I could still pick up shields, and it was still filling slots. But I could not pick up a weapon because inventory was full. Do you know? Did they split that? Did they split it up like that?
I'm not sure.
They did, yes. Okay. They did. The guns have their own pouch essentially now, and then the shields have their own pouch. And I believe the grenades and the class mods also have their own pouch. But you are correct. Like, if you have too many guns, then you can't pick up any more. But you will still see, like, a great grenade mod and be like, oh, okay. And you can pick that up if you have none.
So, to me, that actually removes a restriction. In my mind, like it's nice because like I don't want to pick up any more guns. I'm going to a vending machine to go sell these, but yeah, sure, I'll pick up a couple shields along the way. Like, and
it always leaves room. That's good.
Yeah, it leaves more room. Removes that limitation. So I did want to point that out as well. Awesome. All right, I think we're gonna. Okay, so we have two more things to cover. We're gonna try to cover this next part really quickly. And then we are going to talk about the Borderlands movie. Okay. So here's what I want. We're going to cover. I want you guys to pick one memorable boss that isn't, necessarily pertaining to the story. I want you to pick one memorable boss to tell us about that you just memorable. I don't know. Maybe you liked it. Maybe you didn't. Whoever wants to go first can. What you got? What are your guys' thoughts?
Let's hear from Jordan.
Jordan, what you got for us? What's your most memorable boss?
All right, yeah. So since we've been playing earlier today, you had mentioned this to me, and I started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, we're going to be focusing on Borderlands 3, and I know I've played through Borderlands 3, quite a few times now with all the characters, and I really had to delve into it and think, like, which one was the one that really just I have the most fondest memory of, and maybe it's not necessarily a boss, but it was like the final enemy of a side quest. And it was right in the beginning of the game, still on Pandora, where I can't remember the name of the quest right at this moment. I'd have to go and look again. But essentially the quest is you're doing this for a chef. And he cooks skag meat into food, and he takes skag meat and he's like, oh, there's always an alpha skag. So at one point you fight an alpha skag and you're like, okay, cool. And then he tells you, I believe the boss's name or the final enemy is Midgemong. I think it's Midgemong, and I could be totally wrong. That could be
you might be right, but is this the skag burger?
The skag burger. Yeah,
my list too. That was on my list. My goodness.
He tells you, he's like, you're gonna go fight this small time chef, and you're gonna go. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, but the way he was talking about him, for some reason, I had the thought in my head driving over to him. I was like, so it's gonna be like, watch, it's gonna be this midget running out, and he's gonna be all like, and then, but then I got there, and it was this badass psycho with two big badass skags running at me, and I was just like, oh my god, that's not small time, that's not small time, and yeah, it for some reason has stuck out in my memory. Like I was just. For some reason, I had a totally different image in my head of what he was going to look like and what he was going to sound like. And then when I got there, I was just like, oh.
That's fair. That's fair. I love it. Doodles, what about you? What you got for us?
Just Road Dogg was funny. I just found the Road Dogg fight was just yeah. It was man, it's Road Dogg, bro. It's Road Dogg. I don't have much more to say. That. It was just a fun little side thing that I did, and he was awesome.
I love it. I love it. Great answer. Mine is, and the reason I say memorable is because mine is not on a good list. I hated this every second of it. It was the worst experience of my Borderlands 3 life. Kilovolts in Electric City. Oh my God, I hate him. Okay, so you had to fight your way through a battle royale to get there, which it was a battle royale. If you died, you still were whatever. But so you have to fight your way through a battle royale to get there. Once you drop into his like area, it is completely electrified floors. So you have to jump over the electricity, which I was terrible at. You had to find a way to heal, but most importantly, I run Zane with a shield. Right, like that's always been my thing. I love shields. I put the shield down, blast them.
Yeah.
The moment your shield hits that floor, it's fried. You're dead. It's dead. You can't put your shield down. So he basically nullified everything about my character just by me not being able to get my shield down, and it was the absolute worst. And I died so many times, couldn't figure it out. Hated him.
Yeah. Hated him. Almost sounds like you have to like go full offensive with him because like
you do.
Kilovolt, it's an endurance battle because he's constantly sending those waves at you.
Yep.
Kilovolt was definitely one of the tougher enemies. That is for sure. I am right there with you.
I did have tough time with that fight as well.
All right. I love it. Let's go ahead. Okay. So I mentioned it to you guys how we do it. We're going to do just a quick less than 60-second review. You're going to give your review. You're going to give your rating. You're going to tell us why. And we're going to go from there. I'm going to go first and we'll go from there. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Cool. All right. So first off, I fucking love this game. Oh my good. It's not perfect. Okay. Please don't get me wrong. It's absolutely not perfect. It tends to drag it times, but it is faster paced than the other ones, at least in my opinion. It feels like it has a better balance of gun to bag ratio, as mentioned, with the upgrade to the bag and the different slots that you can do. Really helps with that restriction. It is gorgeous. The upgrade, so I have the upgrade to the PS5 version, and oh my God, the DualSense controller is insane. You can feel the difference in the trigger. It's hard going back to others. I'm going to be honest. It really is. Borderlands knows how silly it is. It's never shied away from making fun of itself, but this one finds a good balance between serious and silly. So for me, the game itself is a solid 9 out of 10. Don't at me on that 9 out of 10, but the official score we're giving it is a 7.5 out of 10. And the only reason for that is because the DLCs and the season passes are too goddamn expensive. They cost more than the game. I'm out.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. There's my, less than 60-second review. Doodles, what about you?
I love what Doug just said. I'm sorry. I have to point that out. Like, that is one of the best lines from Krieg. I'm the conductor of the poop train. That's just awesome.
Got it. I love it. I love it. Thanks for throwing that up there for us, Doodles.
Short review. Short review. Okay. Here's the thing. I love the spirit of this game. Love the comedy that they've always brought. They make fun of themselves and they've taken themselves too seriously. And I feel like that was the selling point from the first game to now. And I feel like they've honored that. The art style is still some of my favorite art styles. It's super unique, and I definitely love what Borderlands brought to the table. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, just straight up, because I love this game. I think it's really fun, and Claptrap still one of my favorite NPCs of all time.
Love it. I love it. Great review. All right, Jordan, what do you got for us?
All
Quick
right.
review.
As a quick review, I will tell you, I think anybody who knows me or Scott could tell you, I'm a Borderlands super fan all the way. I've always loved Borderlands. I've been playing Borderlands since the first one came out. Scott, you're gonna be shocked. I can't wait to see the look on your face. But I am actually going to. I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Ooh.
And the reason I give it an 8 out of 10 is just because coming back from Borderlands 2, I think they could have done so much more, and I feel like the villain wasn't nearly as good as like Handsome Jack, and I
That is
feel
a
like
really
they
good
weren't
point.
nearly as charismatic, and the gameplay, it definitely added some things to it though, like the slide. You could never slide before, and being able to slide like that, and the guns they brought out, and being able to go to different planets and meet the people who run these corporations that you've been using guns from for like ever now. I mean, it was just a blast. But another reason that I have to say that I would drop it another point is because you know what? Even as someone who owns all of the DLCs, I have to agree with you. It's like, why are the DLCs more money than the actual game itself? Like, that was a little bit of a low blow, if you ask me. So, that does drop at a point for me. But yeah, mainly just, the villains, they just weren't as enjoyable.
That's fair. Well, I love it. And guys, that is technically the official end of our show today, but we're not going to come to an end today. We would. We're going to do something a little more not diverse. That's not really the word. We're going to branch into something that isn't normally our topic. We're going to talk about the movie.
Talk about the movie.
So it's a whole new topic. We're gonna just branch off. I wanna. So here's what we're planning to do. I want y'all in the comments to also let us know what you think, because this is gonna be important. We're gonna break down each of the kind of main characters. I'm gonna throw them up here, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you think they cast the right person, because this is pretty much cast at this point in time. Like, I want to know if you think it's the right person or who you would put in instead. Okay.
Gotcha.
Let me see if I can throw this on here. We're gonna share. Hang tight with me. I'm gonna.
But so
I want to
going back. Yeah, you do your thing.
Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah. So the reason I'm excited to talk about the Borderlands movie is because this is just it's awesome. It's like the casting. This is good. Okay, cool.
So here's what we have. Now that we have it up, guys, can everybody, if you can see what we're gonna break them down one by one. Let's start with Tannis. So Tannis, Jamie Lee Curtis, what are your thoughts?
I'm excited.
Excited?
I like Jamie Lee
I'm
Curtis.
actually
Really
excited.
good.
Okay. All right. I'm going to differ. I don't like it personally. Not because I think that Jamie Lee Curtis is bad or not, not great for the, I just don't think she's good for the role, right? I think she's great, just not for this role. I would put someone with a little more spunk, a little more pizzazz.
My friend, Jamie Lee Curtis has spunk and pizzazz.
I'm talking.
Did you ever see Freaky Friday?
I'm sorry. I'm leaning Zooey Deschanel. Zooey Deschanel. I'm going with it. Zooey Deschanel.
All right, fair enough. That's
sorry.
Okay.
I can see that.
You know what? I'm with you. You can, because I have myself another casting that I would have done different. Good. And it might get me in trouble, and I'm not stoked on that.
It will. In fact, we're going to do that one next, I think. All of them, we're just going to cover kind of the big names here. Blackjack. We got Jack Black. Doodles, we all agree. Just who do you got? Who do you think it should be? And we'll all agree with
I love Jack Black. I'm a huge fan of Tenacious D and everything he's ever done. Here's the thing, all right? Charlie Day would be the best Claptrap. I just want Charlie Day as Claptrap.
He's saying right there. That
would be perfect. He is the perfect level of just the energy. He has Claptrap energy naturally. It's already there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm with you. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
I think that I have to kind of agree with Scott on this one. I think Charlie Day as Claptrap would just be awesome. And you know what? I even tossed it around that we have Kevin Hart as Roland, and I even tossed it out. I was like, Claptrap could have been Kevin Hart,
Yeah,
but
I can see that.
I will have to say I do really like Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis because I think that she has the potential to do so well at like the psycho turned professor.
Oh, we're gonna have to see, I guess, because I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can see it. I do understand why why you'd be excited for Jamie Lee Curtis. I love Jamie Lee Curtis, and again, I don't want to sound like I'm like coming off against her by any stretch.
Oh, you're good, man. Like I said, like I love Jack Black.
Right?
Here's the thing, and I'm excited to see him as Claptrap as well. So here we are.
All right. So here's where I start to differ because I start to put together a whole different list based off of who I think should be here. So let's talk Moxie for a moment. What do you guys think of the Moxie casting?
Gina Gershon.
Gina Gershon. Yep.
Gershon. Yeah. I like it. Here's the thing. I'm not super I'm not like hyper focused on Moxie as much. Here's the thing.
Okay.
But like she's awesome. Gina Gershon, I feel like she's gonna be really good as Moxie.
Okay.
And so I'm here for it.
That's fair. Jordan, what about you? Any thoughts? Any problems with the casting?
I don't know her well enough, so I can't really say whether or not I would like it. But I mean, I think that she will do great. I think so, just because I'm giving it a chance. And you know what? I think Moxie is a very awesome character. And I think that, anyone who's a beautiful older woman, I mean, not to throw out any kind of sexist comment, that's not my bag, but, a beautiful older woman such as Moxie, I think anyone could really do it. It takes a certain style attitude.
Dream, like, come on, throw some names out there. Who's your dream casting for Moxie? Like, let's go. Who's your dream casting?
I am a little biased.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna come out with my name.
I don't really care. That's my thing.
Jennifer Coolidge. Coolidge, guys. It's Jennifer Coolidge. The answer is Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge. All right, I'm here for it. There you go.
I could see that. I could see that.
Thank you.
The one that immediately stuck out to me that could have been Moxie is and I don't know her name, but if you ever saw like The Craft or The Waterboy, I cannot remember her name for the life of me, but she was basically the main love interest in The Waterboy, the girl with the black hair, and
it's Vicky
she was in The
Valancourt,
Craft also.
I think.
There you go, Vicky Valancourt
from The Waterboy.
I would totally see her doing Moxie, and I just think she would rock it.
Dig it. I love it. I
had to go like
great answer
into like my subconscious and remember the last time I watched Waterboy.
Right. It's hard to remember some shows sometimes. Let's talk Lilith for a second then as well. We have Cate Blanchett. What are your guys' thoughts? Who's your dream casting?
I'm excited. I'm just gonna say Cate Blanchett. I think that would be awesome. I like it.
You know what? I think they nailed it too.
Yeah, it's like you can't do better. I'm sorry.
Fair. I would
Cate
throw
Blanchett is hella in Thor. Come on.
Mm-hmm. No, I have absolutely no problem with Cate Blanchett. I think it's a great casting. The only one that I think would make a more interesting Lilith, her name is Erin Kellyman. She is in Falcon and Winter Soldier and in Solo. I could pull it up if I really wanted to, but I'm not going to. Erin Kellyman, I think, would make an absolutely great Lilith, and it's a little bit of a off the wall answer, but I think that'd be my dream casting. So anyway, all right. Moving on, continuing on. Anyway, we've done Lilith, we've done Moxie, Roland. All right, we got Kevin Hart at Roland. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, give Kevin Hart an action role. I'm here for it. I'll see what he does. He's funny, so I mean, it's gonna match the style. Well, hopefully, I don't know. I haven't seen him do anything like this, so I'm not sure how he's gonna do.
Could be interesting.
But I'll see what he does.
Jordan, what are your thoughts?
You know, I heard Kevin Hart was going to be rolling, and I just thought to myself, yeah, I'm with Scott. Give him a chance at an action role. Give him one that's, Roland has some quirky remarks, so you know what? I think Kevin Hart can do that. Personally, I would have leaned more towards like Terry Crews. I think Terry Crews would have been a fantastic Roland, and especially like you had mentioned earlier that Terry Crews is actually a big gamer. He's really into gaming culture, so I think he would do the role a lot of justice. But just to point it out, though, I am in the same boat as Scott. It's like, you know what? Let's give Kevin Hart a chance. Let's see if he can do it.
Doodles, what was your? I think we cut you off there a little early. What was your dream? Who's your dream Roland? Do you have anybody or?
So I'm kind of with Jordan on Terry Crews because I love Terry Crews. I think he would be really good. The casting that we were talking about earlier, one that's I'm not seeing him in the movie. Is Zane in the movie? I'm assuming not.
I would think not.
But a dream casting for that. I wanted to throw out, if Zane was in the movie, throw David Tennant in this, and I would love to see him as Zane.
That would be great.
That would be awesome.
I think another good one, if anybody, and I mentioned it to you guys earlier, Colin O'Donoghue. He plays Hook in Once Upon a Time. He'd bank a great Zane as well. IMO, of course.
Absolutely.
I love it. Okay. When it comes to Roland, so in my mind, Roland has always been Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know why. That's just how Roland is in my head. That's just who he is. It's Samuel L. Jackson with the mustache and the whole, or the side chops, every mutton chops, all of it. Just it's Samuel L. Jackson. IMO. But yeah. Anyway, I would agree with you guys as well on the Terry Crews. Okay, and then this is the one Doug Bruck brings this up here. I'm gonna throw it up there. Okay, so you want to know who Ariana Greenblatt is? She is Minnow in the Netflix movie Love and Monsters. She is absolutely fantastic. She is perfect for the role. We do not slander Ariana because she is Tiny Tina. Period. She is great. This is
I agree.
Casting. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Sorry. I had to throw that up there. Jordan, thoughts? What's your opinion?
Well, I mean, you're talking to a guy who has an entire shoulder tattoo of the good old Tiny Tina because Tiny Tina is my girl, and I saw Love and Monsters, and you know what? I have to say, I agree with you. I'm like, Ariana Greenblatt, like, oh yeah, okay. Good casting. You got me. You sold me on that one. All right. I have to see this.
Spot on. Anyway, it's just she's so good. Anybody else have any other thoughts though? Like who could play?
I had a person in mind to play Tiny Tina, but I can't for the life of me remember her name, so I'm just not going to throw it in. So,
it happens.
But I felt like announcing it. I wanted to say it. At
You're
least
right.
that. Like I had an idea, guys. I just didn't say it.
ADHD is killer. It really is. Sorry, and the name I'm thinking. Sorry, when I say Samuel L. Jackson, it's actually Hammerlock I was thinking of, not Roland. So we're good. We mixed that up. We're good.
Tiny Tina reminds me of a certain actress, and I cannot put just the level of quirky. It's like it's so somebody, but I cannot remember who.
That's fair. if we come up with it, we'll post something and let y'all know. But we're gonna cover the last name. The only other name that I really care about, if I'm honest, and we're out of time, at least the allotted time that I set for us. So the out of time here, we're gonna talk Ellie. So that is gonna be Ryan Redmond. I looked her up. Looks fantastic. I haven't seen anything she's in, so I can't, judge acting. I think it's a great casting. The only other person I can think of that would be better, if you know who they are, is how do you say her last name? Fortune Feinster. They are amazing, and looks and sounds and acts, and Fortune would have been fantastic as well. So I want to throw that one out there. Any other thoughts for Ellie, guys?
No, I'm good.
Nah,
I personally don't know who Fortune Feinster is, but I think that who they got to play her will be great, and I think I already think that there's going to be a little bit of a backlash because Ellie is what you would consider a plus size woman, and I feel like if they try to put her in the movie and they try to make her this little skinny girl, that might cause a little backlash because, some people are going to be like, dude, that's not fair. Like, come on, she's plus size, make her plus size. But I saw a picture of the girl.
She looks the part. Like she looks the part.
Exactly.
If she really is going to be great at this. Like she looks like,
and she's not like Borderlands comically large like Ellie, because come on, they were trying to make it comical, but I think you're right though. I think she looks the part, and I think she'll do a great job. I think the whole cast, I think they have such potential to be really great, and they've chosen a lot of charismatic people to play very charismatic characters, and I think that it'll work out really well. It may be one of the best video game movies in history, or it could be one of the worst. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I think they'll do great.
I think it'll be good. All right, y'all. I'm tired. We went definitely over our allotment specifically so we could cover the movie as well. I just wanted to get that in here. So guys,
thank you to everyone who hung with us. I know it was a longer episode, and appreciate everyone watching.
All right. Well, before we go, let's give our quick goodbyes here. So, Jordan, if anybody wanted to follow you or check out anything you have out there, where could they find you?
Well, I don't have very many like services or anything like Facebook, nothing like that. But I do stream every now and again on Twitch. And I believe on my Twitch, my name actually is under I believe it's King Thumbs here. I can actually look real fast because I have the Twitch app here. But yeah, I do stream every now and again, and the games that I'll usually stream on there, they'll usually be Borderlands, or I'll go on there and I'll do some Back for Blood, or I will go on there and and you know what? This one I actually had a completely different name. It's actually just Lock 007007. So if you wanted to follow me on Twitch, you could totally do that. And like I said, I'm a big Borderlands streamer. I really love doing like full squads on Borderlands, and I'll play survival horror games, typically Resident Evil. Like Scott had said at the beginning of the episodes, Resident Evil is like where it's at for me. I love Resident Evil. And sometimes I'll even go on and do like Call of Duty Zombies, just because why not? So yeah.
Very nice. Well, we appreciate you coming on and giving us a lot of insight into the game. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, of course. Moving Doodles, where can we find you? What do you have down the pipeline? I know you've been doing a little bit with some other studios. What you got for us?
So nothing to announce just yet, but I have been doing a lot of fun stuff with fun people, hanging out. It's been cool. My friends are awesome. I have the best friends. But I will say that you can catch me on Butt Meshing once a week, right here. And I will be sharing the links to the episodes so you can always catch them. And I just thank you for supporting the show. Everyone who watches or listens or does whatever, we love you guys and thank you.
Absolutely. We really
And I stream
appreciate
horribly inconsistently at DaDewdlyDoo on Twitch.
Yeah. All right. And then you have me as well, Nate's Legend. You know, I run the show. This is pretty much what I do. I tend to be more, I focus on the podcast more than I do streaming. I think I've come to that like self-awareness. I may not necessarily be a streamer, but I know video games and want to talk about them. So you can catch me here. You can catch all, you know, I'm posting on Twitter and tweeting and all sorts of fun stuff. You can catch me at Nate's Legend. Follow all things button mashing as well. If you follow the link tree, they kind of vary. So go check out the link tree and check out all of our stuff. Yeah, I think that's everything, y'all. As always, take care of your mental health, guys, and you know, keep streaming.